We all have moments in life when things feel dark, when we feel alone, uncertain, or maybe even trapped by circumstances beyond our control. But sometimes, those very moments are where the most profound lessons are hidden. It's in these times that we can learn the most, about life, resilience, and our own strength. And who better to learn from than a creature that has lived its entire life in the dark? The bat. We've all heard about them, the eerie creatures of the night, known for their mysterious, nocturnal habits. But have you ever stopped to wonder what their lives are really like? What makes them so unique and, more importantly, what can we learn from them? Bats aren't just blind flying mammals with an affinity for darkness, they are survivors. They've evolved to thrive in conditions that would break most other creatures. Living in caves, hollow trees, or under bridges, they've learned how to navigate the world without sight, relying on something even more powerful, echolocation. But even with all their extraordinary adaptations, life as a bat is far from easy. They face dangers at every turn. From predators to changing climates, their world is full of obstacles that seem impossible to overcome. But the bat has something that keeps it going: resilience. Now, let's talk about the worst part of a bat's life. It's not what you might think. No, it's not the dark caves, the cold nights, or even the swarms of hungry predators. The hardest part of a bat's life is something far more subtle and, in many ways, much more dangerous: isolation. Bats are social creatures. They live in colonies, often numbering in the hundreds or thousands. But imagine this: one wrong move, one moment of vulnerability, and a bat can find itself separated from its colony. Without the warmth and protection of its family, it is left alone in a world filled with dangers. In the wild, separation can mean death. A lone bat struggles to find food, to communicate, to survive. Its chances of thriving drop dramatically when isolated. The bat's story, in many ways, mirrors the times in our own lives when we feel disconnected, lost, or without support. Just like the bat, we too sometimes find ourselves on the outside looking in. We might feel like we've been left behind, that our efforts aren't enough, or that we're simply not good enough to be part of the group. But here's the truth: the bat doesn't stop trying. It never gives up. It knows that the only way to survive, to thrive, is by pushing through the struggle. In life, we face countless moments of isolation. When things don't go as planned, when we lose a job, a friendship, or a sense of purpose, it's easy to feel as though we're on our own, just like that bat fluttering in the dark. But it's important to remember, those moments are temporary. This brings us to the key lesson that the bat teaches us: resilience and the power of community. When the bat finds its way back to the colony, it doesn't just get back into the group, it thrives. In the company of others, it finds strength. It has access to food, protection, and the collective knowledge of its community. Alone, a bat is vulnerable, but together, they are unstoppable. This is something we, as humans, often forget. We get so caught up in our own struggles, in the challenges we face alone, that we forget the power of support. We forget the power of community. Just like the bat, we too are at our best when we are connected. Whether it's through family, friends, or colleagues, our lives are enriched when we build and nurture relationships. It's these connections that provide us with the strength to face even the darkest days. We don't have to go through life alone. Just as the bat needs its colony, we need each other. And then there's another critical lesson the bat teaches us: adaptability. In their world, change is constant. Seasons shift, food sources change, predators come and go. But through it all, bats adapt. They evolve, learning new ways to survive. Take their echolocation, for example. Bats use sound to navigate and hunt in the dark. When they encounter an obstacle, they don't retreat, they adjust. They change their approach, adapting to new challenges, and finding a way forward. This is something we all need to embrace. Life is full of unexpected twists and turns. The path we thought we'd take may not be the one we end up on. But if we can learn to adapt, to adjust our approach in the face of adversity, we too can navigate through the darkness. Growth doesn't happen when things are easy. It happens when we face challenges head-on, when we change, learn, and push through the tough times. And finally, let's talk about light. As much as we associate bats with darkness, they aren't creatures of the dark by choice. Bats, like us, thrive when the light shines through. It's just that their version of light is different from ours. It's the light of connection, of survival, of finding their place in a world that isn't always kind. The worst part of a bat's life isn't the dark, but the isolation it feels when it's lost in that darkness. But when it finds its way back to the warmth of the colony, that's when it flourishes. Just like the bat, we too will find our way out of the darkness. And when we do, we'll emerge stronger, wiser, and ready to take on whatever comes next. So, the next time you feel like a bat, flapping in the dark, remember, you're never truly alone. You have the strength to adapt, the resilience to push through, and the power of community to help you find your way. Sometimes, the hardest parts of life bring us the most valuable lessons. So, let's be like the bat. Embrace the dark, learn from it, and when the time comes, spread our wings and soar into the light. Thank you for watching. If you found this video inspiring, hit that like button, subscribe for more stories that motivate, and share this with someone who could use a little reminder to keep flying. Until next time, stay strong and stay connected.